Sponsored by Bet365.
Welcome to round 9 of Vodafone Super Rugby, and who would have thought almost halfway through the year, the Bet365 preview show. I'm Adam Fryer, and well, no games on Friday night, but there is an absolute smorgasbord of footy this weekend, and it all kicks off at 3 o'clock on Saturday, where the Rebels in community round take on the Jaguares, and the big out for them, of course, is Reece Hodge. Their side needs to bounce back. They played pretty well against the Hurricanes here, and looking at some of the highlights, you would have thought they were going to run away with it, but Hurricanes just too strong, and they've proven to be the competition favourites for mine, the Hurricanes. They're in great form, but the Rebels, well, they've slipped to 6 on the competition ladder, and they've got a lot of improvement to do. If they lose this game, they're really going to start slipping out of that finals race, but I do think that they'll have no issues against the Jaguares, but they play unstructured footy. The Rebels very structured, where the Jaguares, they'll play at anything. So it's either going to be a runaway success for the Rebels or a tight one. I think they'll run away with it, the Rebs. I'm going to tip them to win big. As we now look at the Brumbies visiting the Highlanders, and this is where we see where Australian Super Rugby's at. The first away game for an Aussie team in New Zealand, and New Zealand are dominating the top 6, as you can see, 4 of the teams in there. This Brumbies side, I didn't rate them as high as I did after last weekend. I would have thought the Reds would have had them, but they just seem to run away at the end. And David Pocock, well, he's in absolutely scintillating form just after 2 games, and what a good sign for Australian rugby. He's just all over the ball and also scoring some tries there late in the game. It's good to see that he's playing 80 minutes as well. But it has been their bench that's got them home. You can see Joe Powell coming off the bench making a huge difference, and also perhaps a Wallabies bolter is Folau Fainga'a, the hooker. He also scored, or almost scored a try. What about this footage here? Diving over the sideline just before halftime. Does he get it down? No. Well, it didn't end up being a score, but I would have given it to him anyway. A good hooker's try there on the sideline. But without a doubt, the match of the round has to be the Waratahs taking on the Reds. New South Wales v Queensland, our very own state of origin. They haven't played a game at the SCG since 1983, and this one will be an absolute stormer. The Waratahs, I would say, they're the form side in the Australian Conference, and this Reds team, I don't think they would have enjoyed losing to the Brumbies at all last week, and knowing Brad Thorne probably would have flogged them the whole week, but they're a better side than what the scoreboard reflected last week against the Brums, and they'll be out to put the Waratahs to the sword. I'm going to tip this one as being a real close one. Only the one change for the Tars, and great to see Nick Phipps back after playing for Sydney Uni last weekend. He'll definitely play some minutes for the Tars, and I actually think we'll see him in the 9 jersey very, very soon. But he'll come off the bench. The Reds, for mine, well, they do have a few injuries in this one. The big ones are going to have to stand up are those usual suspects. Sortia, definitely a player that needs to score some points. And I would say this, no question at all, Samu Kerevi is probably one of the players of the Australian Conference. He'll need to continue to dominate and score some points. And the forward pack there, their driving maul and scrum needs to be on point. But Waratahs fans, you should be happy about this one. I think they're going to come in as favourite, and I think they should just get the win. I'll take them 1-12. As we quickly skip through the other matches of Vodafone Super Rugby, we go straight to New Zealand, of course, and on Friday night, the Hurricanes are taking on the Chiefs. God, I love these New Zealand games. It's going to be an absolute cracker of a game. We're going to go the home side, the Canes there at the Cake Tin. Sunwolves and the Blues, well, that kicks off our Saturday. What a Saturday, a super Saturday. You go 1, 3, 5:30. 7:45, all rugby in a row. Sunwolves taking on the Blues. I'll take the Blues, no problems at all there. Rebels in a big win. Highlanders and Brumbies, I'm just going to probably say Highlanders in that one. Waratahs will win by a very small margin. Then we head off to South Africa at 1:15 Australian Eastern Standard Time. The Sharks taking on the Bulls, and it is certainly all about Saturday. Saturday Super Rugby, it's going to be an absolute screamer. And get involved, and if you're going to have a bet, please do so responsibly. If you want to see all the highlights and reviews and previews, stay tuned to Rugby.com.au.